Hey, what's up? In today's video, I'll share with you 5 common mistakes that people make when writing sponsorship letters. You already know that sponsorship letters are those letters you need if you can't afford your tuition. So you know these letters are so important. So you need to pay attention to these mistakes and make sure you don't make any of these mistakes. So let's jump right into today's video. You know, a few years ago, just a few years ago, I was right where you are right now. I had worked so hard to get into like nice schools for grad school, but I got all those admissions. I was happy. I was like, yes, I did it. But then I just couldn't afford tuition. I couldn't afford the living expenses as well. So I started having these mixed feelings. Some of you already know my journey to the US. Some of you already know like how all of that happened, my story. But the point is, just a few years ago, I was right where you are, and I understand the struggle where you're like, happy I got the admission, happy you got that admission offer, but you just can't afford it. So like, what is the point of doing all of this hard work and you have the admission and you can't pay for school? And that's why sponsorship letters are important. When I discovered I could actually get someone who could be my friend, my family, anyone, write a letter for me that they would sponsor me, and that could help me like actually go into school without having to worry about like, you know, how to show proof that I can pay. I thought that really changed my life. And I got a couple of friends then to write a sponsorship letter for me. And I really can't forget these people. They have a special place in my heart. And that was what I did to get the sponsorship letter. Now, the good thing is, those people on your sponsorship letter don't actually have to sponsor you. They just need to give you the letter. And I've done a video where I explain everything about what sponsorship letters are. I even shared an example of a sponsorship letter, what it does, all of that. I will drop that video in the description box. Make sure you watch it after this one because this one is so important. I'll put that video in the description box. Now let's talk about mistakes I see people make a lot of times when they're writing sponsorship letters. Mistake number 1, not attaching supporting documentation. And this is so important. Listen, a sponsorship letter is not very useful or relevant if you don't attach supporting documentation. So on your sponsorship letter, you're saying this person is going to sponsor you, and I'm thinking that person has signed and all of that, but they need to show that they have that amount in their bank or in their investment. Something, they need to show something so that the school and the visa authority sees that yes, this person has the cash to make this happen. Because what is the use if they like write that letter and they don't have enough money in their bank statement or in their bank account, I mean. So you need to, as you write this letter, you also need to attach a bank statement. That is so important. Don't forget that step, whether that's a bank statement or that's like an investment account statement, something like that. Another mistake I see people make is they don't attach supporting documentation that shows their sponsor has liquid assets. Now, I'm not trying to confuse you, and I know you think I'm really trying to confuse you right now, but no. When I talked just a couple of minutes ago, my first mistake I mentioned about not attaching supporting documents. The point is, not every document qualifies. So not every document is okay, you know, for the school to use as your, for your sponsor. So you want to make sure whoever you choose as your sponsor that is writing the sponsorship letter for you also has either cash or assets that can easily be converted to cash. Now, let me explain. The point is, your school really cares about money, and I've talked about that on this channel. It is the money that matters to the school. Now, if you share a sponsorship letter, but the supporting document you're sharing is some land document or some real estate document, those are not considered liquid assets. And when we say liquid, I'm just talking about they cannot easily be converted to cash. Land or some house somewhere cannot easily be converted to cash, but if they have like cash in their bank account, that is fine. So you can show a bank statement. Or if they have some sort of like money market fund, that's an example, like just money market funds that can easily be sold in the stock market and get cash, that is a good one. But don't go sharing documents for things that are like long-term assets, like houses or land. That is not really, that your school wouldn't accept that, basically, because it's not a liquid asset. If you don't understand what I've just said, just put a comment in the comment section and I would explain. But the point is, try as much as possible to get someone that has cash in their bank account. Cash is king, right? So try to get someone that has cash in their bank account, not like real estate, just like real estate and things like that. Cash in the account is always preferred. That's what I'm trying to say. Third mistake I see people make is attaching old bank statements. Do not attach bank statements that are older than 90 days. That is already old. You need to attach bank statements that, have for accounts. Basically the most recent bank statements, and it has to be within the last 90 days. Don't go attaching a bank statement from June last year. I mean, a lot could have changed. So make sure you share like a bank statement or an investment statement that the person got within the last 90 days, so they see that this person actually has that money in the account and not something that's like really old. If you share something that's more than 90 days, your school will likely reject that or like ask you for a newer statement. Another mistake I see people make with sponsorship letters is they are not accounting for 100% of the cost of attendance. So cost of attendance is tuition plus living expenses, all that you need to actually attend school and be successful in school, and that's tuition and living expenses. And you need to show when you are like talking to the school and sharing your sponsorship letter and all of that, you need to make sure you can prove that you can pay 100% of your cost of attendance. And what I mean by this is, if your total cost of attendance for the 2-year program that you're going for is $100,000 and you've gotten scholarships of $50,000 and you've not shown any other evidence of how you pay the balance $50,000, your sponsorship letter must show that the person sponsoring you will pay up to $50,000 for you. That is the point. If you now, say you submit a sponsorship letter that someone is going to sponsor just $30,000, that totals $80,000, and so who's going to pay for the balance $20,000? And so your sponsorship letter may be rejected and the school asks you to provide more information and you just have to delay yourself and all of that. So you want to make sure you can account for 100% of your total cost of attendance. Either that's in scholarships or your own bank statement or your sponsor's bank statement. The total of everything has to be 100% of your tuition plus living expenses. Mistake number 5 is your sponsor not stating their relationship to you. Listen, they need to state on that letter how they are related to you. They could be your friend, they could be your family friend. When I did it, the person that wrote that sponsorship letter, one of them that wrote the sponsorship letters for me, was my family friend, and that's what they wrote, like, I'm sponsoring Doing and she's my family friend or she's my friend's daughter, something like that. So you want to make sure the person actually states their relationship with you. That is so important because they just want to know like who is this person that is sponsoring you and if it's like fishy and stuff like that. So you want to state in the letter what the relationship between you and your sponsor is. And if you want to know like what exactly this sponsorship letter looks like, I shared a video sometime back where I shared a sample sponsorship letter that you can basically like get and copy it and use that for yourself. It is free. I'll drop that video in the description box. Just watch the video, and I think in the description of that video there is a link for you to get the sponsorship letter example. So just use my example. Don't worry about it. Just tweak it to like include your name, your sponsor's name and all of that. But I already gave you an example you can easily use. So check that video in the description box, watch that video, and then also get the sponsorship letter example from that video. I hope you have all you need to actually get a sponsorship letter now and make your dream of going to school a reality. And I just want to say again that you are not alone. The struggle is real, especially if you are international, you are not from the most wealthy family and you're trying to get all the support that you need to make your dream happen. I've been there and I've been there recently, and I just want you to know that you are not alone and you can do it. Just try the sponsorship letter option and let's see how it goes. Let me know in the comments what happened when you use this and share that with your school. Let me know if you need any other support. Just know that I'm here for you and I'll try my best to make sure you have all you need to make this dream of, going to school, wherever, happen for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.